Alright, this is a little more random. Jack Harlow. Heard of this dude? Singer dude. Happened to be. I don't know why the hell I was even putting numbers in for this dude. It was anyway, whatever. It was because of the song Vanilla, and I just found out this is just a personal reference. March 13th, and so Madonna has some connections to the 133. Okay, so anyway, I was like, I'll just put this in and just see because I wanted to see it. He's got a song that kind of ties into another song, which I was really going to do the number jumps for, and I'll show you them in just a second. Anyway, cutting a long story short, I just started doing some number jumps for him, and the first one I did was his birthday through to today. Well, it's yesterday's date now, through to the 8/21. And lo and behold, it was the 123 number, which we just had that show up. And if you just watch one of the last few videos, this was showing up the 123 again with Ozzy as well, with the 123 stuff. His birthday numbers. Click it. Not very interesting apart from the 10,023rd composite number happens to be the 114. Yeah, with the 00, the 114 CRM 114 that shows up on the speaker. Yeah, to do with music in Back to the Future. And I'm like, okay, you're just stop, you're reaching, stop with it. Anyway, I wanted to look at the song "Loving on Me." Yeah, because anyway, he has the lyric in there. I'm vanilla baby. Okay, I'm vanilla baby. Okay, and I'm thinking I just really was wanting to just check between Vanilla Ice's song Ice Ice Baby, Vanilla, okay, and this song. Anyway, when I saw this, I was like, here we go. We got the 1110. This is in the dollar bill, okay, as part of that reference to pi. It's part of the number jump that gets us back to the 9-1 stuff. 314th day of the year. I mean, it's all connected, right? And then the length of the song is 218. And I'm like, here we go with Gene Hackman, generation. Gene Hackman's death date. And this is obviously John Travolta's birthday. It's the when Pluto was found, the 218, and it's the middle of our table. It's part of that reduction of the middle of lupus numbers here. Let me show you. I've still got this junk in from the last time. But I've said before, this middle set of numbers here can be reduced two different ways. You can do 218 and leave that 18 static, or you can leave the 11 static and reduce the 18 down to a 9 here. 9, 11 and 218. In sort of hidden in here, and then of course again the other number is the 29. Again, the 29. Okay, anyway, whatever. And also the other thing to note as well is the numerology as you move along here. 8, the 182, yeah, right here. As we're moving into this number, as we're going along this thing. Okay, anyway, whatever. Whatever. Oh dear. So anyway, this stuff here, I'm like, let's do some number jumps with this, So what's this one I got here? This is his release date through to this particular day. Okay, well, yesterday now. Okay, the 8/21. 650 days. Okay, click it. 12 square pyramidal. That's kind of interesting. Plus, we've got the 531 here. This is well interesting as well. Just the Harvey stuff just done, and the Titanic and Clint Eastwood, yada yada yada, all that stuff. Okay, anyway. This actually wasn't very interesting. I don't know why I still got it in here. This was his birthday through to Madonna's birthday. It was 14455. One, you know, 145 does connect with Madonna. I'm not going to go to it now, but it happens to be part of a number that ties in with Madonna. Okay, and again, Titanic numbers, yada yada yada. Okay, so kind of interesting with the whole idea of Ice Ice Baby. Yeah, because when the Titanic goes down, what does it hit? Yeah, and all the Frozen reference, it hits the iceberg, and then when you are down there, you are, well, we'll come on to it in a minute, you'll be under pressure. Yeah, when you sink to the bottom of the ocean, just like the little submersible was under pressure as it was looking at the Titanic, yeah, and imploded. So anyway, the Ice Ice Baby stuff is kind of interesting with the connection back with Titanic, is all I'm saying. Anyway, the release of that song, yeah, through to, which is, did I really Lovin' On Me? Did I really explain the song? I don't know. Anyway, you've probably heard it, yeah. Anyway, 10, 11, 10, blah blah blah, through to the 9 one day. I thought better check that. Seeing as we're talking about Titanic, because Titanic's numbers come palindromic around this time here with the one. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, like 41414, something like that. It's all 1/4 numerology anyway, and I think there was some. Anyway, whatever. But it's super interesting with Titanic anyway, so I thought better just check that date anyway. 661 days. Okay, click it. Oh, look, now we start seeing some really interesting connections here. 121, 121st prime, 11th star. Oh yeah, composite number 801, number 18 really ties in with Madonna, because obviously the sixth Lucas number is 18. So you get your 186618, however you want to put it in there. Okay, anyway. What? Hang on a minute. And this was, oh, I thought just because he's younger, okay, kind of looks like the son. I did his birthday through to Rocco's, and again, what was it? 883. Oh, 153 again. Yeah. Oh dear. Okay, so the Vesca Pisces number this time in a prime number there. I mean, you know, for the prime numbers to be showing up quite as much as they do with all these number jumps, it's just a bit weird. And again, it's the same ones over and over again, bog standard stuff. Okay, anyway, so let's look at Ice Ice Baby. As soon as I clicked on this and seen 822, which is where we are now today, I'm like, oh dear. Ice Ice Baby. I'm Vanilla Baby. Okay, I'm Vanilla Baby. In the other song, Ice Ice Baby. Okay, the iceberg hitting the Titanic, taking it down. Okay, let's go and have a quick look between some of these dates now. So this is Ice Ice Baby. This is Lovin' On Me, or whatever the hell it was called. 33 days, 33 years, 80 days. Okay, it's kind of interesting. We just had the 883, or what was that last one? 883. They got 338, and I just did that number job, and I'm like, oh, look at this, look at the composite number now. 10680, 168 in there. Madonna's birthday numbers in there. Dan, you're just reading too much into it. It's just a composite number, mate. It doesn't. Whatever. So anyway, I thought, well, better just check Under Pressure as well. Yeah, because that's where Vanilla Ice robbed that from, his song from. So obviously it's done for a reason, to connect these things together. So let's do the 27th of October 1981. Obviously, the 27th is obviously the first one you go check because it's obviously a Back to the Future number when Marty finally gets back the 27th of October. I do it, and I'm thinking 10:27, blah blah blah. Yeah, okay. Oh, look at this. 16004. The previous day, which we were just looking at 8:20, and we did all the Eli Manning stuff with the 163 on the Hoover Dam and all this stuff in the. I'm like, oh my goodness. So we had the 163 with Eli Manning, and then the day after Super Bowl, 164. And I'll tell you why this is interesting because I was looking at another number jump the other day with another song, and I'm thinking 164 was in that number jump, okay? And 164 is important because it's let me just put it. It synchronizes with 128, okay? I'm just leaving it at that, right? But we'll go and look at the other 164 number in a minute. So just keep that in your back of your mind there. This was Under Pressure to Ice Ice Baby. So we just did through to the 21st, okay, because that was what I was really looking at, you know. And then 10:27 through to Vanilla Ice, 321. 3221. 321. Okay. I'm like, just check that because it's sending in a 1. Oh, look. It just happens to be the 456 prime. So we get another prime number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. God. Oh dear. Okay, anyway. Was there anything interesting with this one? I don't think so. Not really. Wow, a non-interesting prime number. Okay, good. Finally. Anyway, that number, the 164 numerology with this, I'll show you what it's synchronized with because I was looking this up the other day. Just heard it on the radio and thought, I better look that up. You know, take the long way home because it's the idea about coming home. You know, we did all the stuff with Omaha and all this stuff. Anyway, I'm like, well, it's not giving me the release date in '79, October '79 sometime. But it is giving me the live version of it, which I'll show you what that is in just a second, on the 26th of September. 26th of September is an interesting number for sure with the goddess. There's a lot of people that have that 26th of September birthday to do with the sort of goddess symbolism. Anyway, I'll show you that in just a second, but this is off Breakfast in America, that album, right? And this is Doc's model on his ping pong table there in the garage. And don't forget, when the car goes across the floor, you get the 911, but it's actually the Twin Towers with the number 8. If you look at the floor, there's like, if you spray can, you know, some things with a rattle can, spray can, that's what's there, is like this outline of paint from a spray can type thing on the floor, and you get the 118 is in there, okay, like Rocco Ritchie's birthday again, like to do with Hulk Hogan. But this is the model in Back to the Future, okay. That's why that model's painted all white, because it's a reference back to this, and it's got the night, you know, this has got the 911. Probably everybody knows all the decodes on this album cover and everything, okay. And then on the other flip side of it, they got the plane going into it and everything else, and it's from the window and all the rest of this, right? But anyway, I just wanted to tell you what was interesting about it is Take the Long Way Home is on side 2, track 6. So it's 26 connection for Madonna, which I thought was interesting. But like I said, it didn't give me the release date. I probably could have gone and found it, Googled it and everything else, but I thought, well, actually what was interesting was the So the release of it that we're just showing you was the live version is actually on this album, Paris. Okay, the Paris album. Note you got the Arc de Triomphe there with the sort of sunshine pouring out of it, you know, like the dam breaking and the sun being reborn. Yeah, this is where the release date of this is, the 26th September 1980. Look at the length of the damn thing. 94:44. This is the middle. Let's go to this other chart. Let me show you why that's so important. What do I want? This one. Yeah, this is the middle of here. Yeah, okay. Super duper important, right? Anyway, if you do that number jump, let me show you the number jump now. I've got it up here twice. That was to remind me. This was when it was actually they actually did the performance. Okay, through to 821. Okay, I've ran it out to 9.1, wasn't interesting. But anyway, 821 was interesting, and I guess it would work for tomorrow as well without the end date. 1933. Why is this interesting? You see that sun rising again there in Arc de Triomphe, and the idea of gold. 1933 is when they started taking the US, taking the dollar off the gold standard, right? Remember Desperately Seeking Susan with the oh, by the way, Julia Roberts plays Susan. I don't know if I mentioned that, but in that Friends episode, she's Susan somebody or other. Desperately Seeking Susan. The what was I saying? Yeah, the pyramid on the back of the jacket, which is the all-seeing eye on the back on the dollar bill, that seal, yeah, the Eye of Provenance, which is in gold in Desperately Seeking Susan. This is when they this is when they started taking the dollar bill off gold, and they finally finished it off completely in '71 with Bretton Woods. Anyway, what was that as well? Was there anything else with it? Oh yeah, here we go, 2995. Just, you know, is that anything interesting as well? 232 palindromic. Yeah, we're back to the blimmin' 32. We've had that number pop up several times as well. Ah, dear, oh dear. I don't know what to make of it. Anyway, okay. There was one other number jump. What was this last lot of number jumps? Okay, this is Vanilla Ice's birthday. So that was it with that. Yeah, the 1933, this gold stuff. Oh, and was I really mentioning about the recorded date? Notice that it's 79. Yeah. Notice that it's the 29th of November. So 79 gold atomic number. The Super Trump will be 7979. And what's interesting is this that number there. Let me show you. Just look back to this other table. Is the 1129. Okay. So again. Oh dear. Right. Anyway, getting sidetracked. This is the last one, right? And then we're done. I'm going to bed. This is Vanilla Ice's Van Winkle, whatever his name is. What is his name? Robert Van Winkle or something stupid like that. It's something weird. This is his birthday anyway. Yeah, Robert Van Winkle. Sounds something like being Mary Poppins or something. Anyway, look at this. Through to this is the 19th. Okay. This palindromic number. So this is 8. This is Matthew Perry. Would be Matthew Perry's birthday. In fact, I don't know how old he's been interested to actually know. But anyway, I'm not worried about right now. And as you click through, you start seeing some interesting numbers like the 214 stuff and that. And I don't know what to say. You know, I just thought I was kind of interested with that palindromic number coming on. Again, the dude that is connected to, heavily connected to the 128, the 821, 128 numerology, however you want to put it in. Okay, and I dropped a comment in the other video. I forgot to mention, keep forgetting to mention it, is that Matthew Perry actually did date Julia Roberts for a while as well. So the whole thing with the 128 and all that stuff is just mental. Anyway, out of time for the 821 anyway, so there goes that date as well. I don't even know if I'm even, like right now, I'm like, oh, don't put any more stuff in, Dan, and look at anything, right? Because it's just, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just going off my rocker here or whatever. I don't know. But every time I put something in, there's just loads of connections. I don't know what to say about it. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. But you can see, just random. I'm putting random stuff in, and it's just all tying back. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching. All right. Good night. God bless. All right. Bye.